The absurd season continues. It looks like City might actually about to be signing a midfielder, and I'm saying that out loud and it feels absolutely weird. Guys, City are in for Nico Gonzalez, the 23-year-old Spanish midfielder, sort of 6'8" hybrid, 6'2", technical, dribbles past people, scores goals from the edge of the box. It literally looks like we might be about to get a young Rodri. It's absolutely wild. Welcome back to another video. Loads going on. I've only just got a chance to go live, been getting the little guy to bed. That little guy being my son, of course. And then it looks like we're about to sign a player, which is not signed, but he's got a release clause. It looks very serious, this. There we go. So Fabrizio Romano's gone big on it. I'll go over to the tweets from Fabrizio. It says, exclusive. City have made a formal approach to Porto to ask for Nico Gonzalez as a new midfielder. Talks started. Porto hope to keep Nico and ask for important transfer fee. Release clause worth 60 million euros, which is what? Is that 48 million or something like that? Just a rough guess. Barcelona have 40% sell-on clause. So there we go. What is it? What is 60 euros? Well, 60 million euros, but 60 euros. 60 euros in pounds is 50 million quid. 50 million quid, basically. And obviously, 25... Well, about 20 million of that roughly would go to Barcelona. Still, it's a decent whack of money for Porto. But this seems to be genuinely true. It seems to be genuinely true. It's going around as well. I'll go over here to the actual bit of news where it's all broke. Where's it gone? See, I'm not prepared to meet the release clause. Apparently, it remains to be seen whether Portuguese are willing to negotiate. Well, that would be an absolute bummer. I think they probably will do. Let's be honest. 23-year-old former Barca player. Jack Gorn's also gone for it. Jack Gorn said that City are in for him too. I'll go over to Jack Gorn, who is a very well-connected Manchester City journalist for the Daily Mail, but one of the Northern correspondents. And if Jack Gorn also gives the thumbs up, it's probably true. You know. Where are we at? Here we go. City approached Porto to sign central midfielder Nico Gonzalez as per Fabrizio Romano. So he's corroborated it, basically. Look, this is very, very exciting. Like, this guy, look, I didn't know much about him. I knew his name and I saw people mention him, but I did that sort of humble tweet, and I tend to be honest if I don't know a lot about a player. I knew his name, and I said, is he any good? And then I've been watching some clips of him, and I can't believe just how Rodri coded this young lad is. Like, he really is insanely Rodri coded. Like he just looks like you've got a raw Rodri there potentially, down to his height, down to the way he kicks a ball, literally down to his gait and holds himself, down to the way he moves in terms of the pace, his positional sense. Yeah, like, honestly, it's really, really, really similar. It seems like he wears number 16 as well. Young Spanish lad. Honestly, I am very, very, very excited by this potential transfer. Like, he just looks so Rodri-esque. He drives forward past people. He's composed. Rodri doesn't have recovery pace either. But Rodri, we want a Rodri partner, not another Rodri. Yes, we do, mate. Because Rodri alongside another Rodri, and no one's getting past that midfield pal. Rodri is the best 6 in the world and probably the best number 8 in the world at the same time. If you got 2 of them, you're absolutely sorted. You absolutely want another Rodri, you can get another Rodri. And also, let's be honest, Rodri also is 29 years old and coming off an ACL. We don't know if Rodri could be absolutely... Rodri squared is always the solution, yeah. Look, he's not Rodri yet, but if you get like a young guy who plays like Rodri and he can mould him into that, come on, man. That could be absolutely ridiculous. It could be very, 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 very exciting, you know? Yeah. Look, it could be really, really, really exciting. So he's 23 years old. He's at Porto. His contract expires in 2028. He's right-footed. He's definitely a defensive midfielder or a central midfielder. 6'2", 6'3", so he's a big guy. 2 is better than 1 always. And look, I've only been watching for I've watched about 10-15 minutes of him, but he looks very, very promising. I'll read this little thread here by a guy I follow on Twitter who talks about him a little bit. It says, teams should be considered... This is from December, by the way. He's versatile as an 8 and a 6, better playmaker than Zubimendi, apparently. Better dueler, more physical, aerially strong, 6'2", quality box crasher, left sitter but can do it. This guy says teams who play double pivot should be all over him. There's not much he can't do. Particularly love his way to pass on deep through balls. He's often the pass for the assistant Porto. This is the impression I'm getting from him as well. Like, just, you can see a footballer. You can actually see a footballer. He looks nothing like Calvin Phillips, by the way. Absolutely not. And people, I don't think this guy's a bum. I think he's young. I think he's got talent. He looks miles better than anything we've got right now, put it that way. Little bits of Gundogan to his game. Of course, he will be a diamond in the rough that you've got to polish. But to me, it seems to me the right profile. It does. Cameron, what are you saying that for, mate? What's you basing this off? I don't know. He looks good, man. He looks good to me. And it's gone under the radar out of nowhere, but I like it. I also like this kind of profile. Once again, it's one of those things where I feel it makes a lot of sense. He's La Masia trained for one, so technically we know he's good. If you get a guy from La Masia, which is Barcelona's academy, who's schooled in that possession-based system, who knows how to keep the ball, who's also 6'3", physical, combative, a natural leader, covers ground pretty well, he's already comfortable on the ball. Obviously, there's stuff to learn. Then what is not a lot to like about that? Especially if you're going to get, look, he might be around 50 million or something like that. I don't know. But either way, it feels to me like a one for the future that I like. City apparently wanted him 3 years ago. I read an article just about that before. So, you know, we're going after him right now. I don't think he's a KD replacement. I think he's very much a defensive midfielder. But it looks good. It looks really good. Look, I'm not an expert. But to me, once again, the profile there, especially imagine we went for Cambiasso as well. Imagine we got Cambiasso as well. We sealed Cambiasso. Cambiasso, not CEO. I know I keep saying that, but that's a childhood thing when I used to say Esteban Cambiasso. Cambiasso. Oh, never mind. I'm getting tongue-tied. But if we got Nico Gonzalez, Cambiasso, Marmouche, Kusanov, Reyes, Jumabar, it would be ridiculous. It would be ridiculous. Well, it doesn't mean we're going to pay the €60 million price tag, Riaz. Apparently, the rumours going around are that we probably won't do that. I don't know. But I am taking this very, very seriously. I think there's something in this. It's so obviously last minute. There's so clearly... The profile makes so much sense. The way he looks like Rodri, his age, the fact that he's Barcelona trained. Did Porto go out last night as well? So Porto are out, which means, you know, did Porto go out? Let's have a look. Porto results. Porto. No, they're in the. Let's have a look at let's have a look. Europa League table. No, Porto fine. No, Porto are through, I think, to the playoffs. Do they have playoffs in the Europa League? I think they are through, yeah. But either way, maybe Cambiasso could be someone, mate. But I think it was very telling today, the Champions League draw, by the way, that Cheeky wasn't there. Cheeky's always there. He wasn't there. He was clearly working. They sent Paul Dickov on, to just do the representative. Which I thought was funny, you know, that's like striker from Division 2 and all that kind of stuff. And Paul, I love him to bits, but it's just funny that was there. Porto are currently 6 points behind Sporting as well, so it's poor scouting. What are you on about, mate? Why do you hate him so much, mate? What made you an expert on Nico Gonzalez, by the way? Just a worse Rodri. Like, what about him is just... I mean, look, no one's a good Rodri. No, there's no one as good as Rodri, so everyone is a worse Rodri. Everyone is a worse Rodri, because that's just a matter of fact, mate. Look, if we had Rodri's... how old's Rodri now, by the way? Rodri is... How old is he currently? He's 28 years old. Rodri will be 29 for all of next season. And there's a good chance by the time he's fully back to his fitness, he could be pushing. He could be... You're moaning about the profile, not the player here, mate, which is interesting. But Rodri is a Ballon d'Or. He's the best player in the world, so no one is Rodri. But Rodri is by the time he's back to his full best, he'd be 30 years old, if not fully 30. So, like, that point, and given his ACL, you're absolutely looking for someone like Rodri. And don't forget just how good that Rodri is getting forward. Rodri does get forward. He does often. So if you've got a guy... Rodri wasn't Rodri at 23, yeah, it wasn't. But you've got a guy who can sit like... Look, let's imagine... you've got a guy who can sit, who can take turns to go back and every now and then. Look, there is no better midfield in world football than two Rodris. Look, I'm not saying he is that, but profile-wise... Like, this guy can defend and tackle, so he actually can cover ground. What I have seen of him, he clearly can. Like, can you imagine having two Rodris? That's a cheat code. I'm not saying he's that good, but he plays so much like him. Like, he's halfway between a 6 and 8, but I would say Rodri is halfway between the 6 and 8 as well. Rodri is not a lone DM. Rodri gets forward, you know, and that's the thing for me. Like, but put it this way. Does he potentially work in a midfield with some legs and all that kind of stuff? Yeah, absolutely, man. I think he absolutely does. I like what I've seen of him. It makes an awful lot of sense. I've just watched videos of him tackling the ball, coming back, chasing people, getting back, physically good. It's the way that Guardiola wants to turn Nico Riley into DM as well, because he's attacking midfielder. This guy is more defensive coded than that, but clear that Clay has that instinct to go forward, the way that Rodri does, but clearly very complete. Look, imagine something like this here. I'll go over here now. We'll build it. Like I'm excited by this if we can get it done. I think it's really exciting. So I'll just put Eddie in goal for now. Imagine you get like Cambiasso. So you get, I don't know, Josko over here. In the future, you've got Diaz and Kusanov or Reyes, and then you've got Cambiasso. I keep saying Cambiasso. I'm so sorry, Cambiasso. Then you've got, I don't know, Rodri, Gonzalez, Marmouche. I don't even know. It's going to be possible to predict. Put Foden there because why wouldn't you? You know, something like that. And then over here you've got Haaland. I don't even know then. What? Bob or Savinho? I don't. It gets silly then, doesn't it? It gets so exciting. Rodri is like the best in the world, mate. You talk about Rodri's weaknesses, like we hadn't. Bro forgot Stones. I didn't forget Stones. It's because I'm on about the future here. Cameron, you're on a downer here, mate. You've obviously said your piece, and you're just making everyone miserable now. If you don't like the signing, no one's going to agree with you necessarily. So just stop moaning now, is what I will say. If you don't like it, but to me, he looks really good. But that's what I'm on about the future. Then you've got Echeverri, you've got Doku, you've got who else? You know, you've got. Yeah, everyone's wondering when we signed Diaz. People called Rodri Plodri, remember? Everyone called him Pooban Diaz. Like, I remember the criticism he's got. Rodri has his weaknesses, but he also makes you win trebles. He also makes you, you know... The reason people say Rodri's got a weakness is because he spends all his time up here. He gets to the edge of the area, and we've got fullbacks going up here. Rodri is not the issue. And we'll obviously sign another midfielder. But maybe what will happen is Cambiasso will... These guys will tuck in because they're brilliant, and Rodri will push forward a little bit, or Gonzalez will push forward a little bit, and we'll see something like that where these guys cover technically brilliant plays. You cover a little bit deeper, and this guy goes forward, or that guy goes forward. You know, like I think that's what will happen, and that you've got like a shape like this. Then and that could be, I don't know, Foden or Echeverri one day. You know, I mean, look how special that is. Marmouche or Doku. You know, that to me is exciting. And to me, like I think I very much... All right, Cameron, I'm going to put you in a timeout because you're just being a bit moany now, mate. Just for your own good of a few minutes, because you're just sort of ruining the vibe of the chat. You're banging the drum. When you start talking about Rodri having weaknesses, you're in your own head. Like anyone sort of sitting here starting to pull apart Rodri, you're in your own head, mate. I'm not banning you from the channel, but I'm definitely giving you a timeout for your own good because he's just... Like, you're moaning about Rodri. What are you doing, mate? You've lost your head at that point. Guys, please give the video a like and subscribe. Like, and show you're a nice guy thingy, Cameron, but I definitely think you're in there. Like, it's just, you're just winding people up now in the chat. For what I can tell, watching this guy, I've watched some videos. He looks like he's very good at keeping the ball. He looks technically good. I've done some, I saw some stats as well. He's got like 91% pass accuracy, which is really good. He looks very much comfortable receiving the ball anywhere. He loves a burst forward to make a run past people. Good dribbler, which is, once again, very Rodri coded. He's physically strong. He's tactically seems to be pretty good as well. I don't know. It seems to be a really potentially good signing. And I'm very, very, very excited by the idea of this. I just think he fits the profile perfectly. And to me, yeah, look, it looks good. Really good. I like this. So if you follow like Sheikh MCI on Twitter, he really wanted him. He said after rising through the ranks at Barcelona's famed La Masia, Gonzalez was widely hyped as the next Busquets. 6'2", his imposing style, passing range, and defensive awareness drew immediate comparisons to the Spanish legend before he made the move to Porto to gain value first team experience, continuing his development as a well-rounded midfielder. That was the first name on his list. Strength lies in... As it say, he lies in his ability to control the tempo of the game, his defensive awareness, and his versatility in midfield roles. He can execute a wide array of his passes, and while not fully bipedal, two-footed, he's capable of using either foot to execute simple passes with proper weight and timing as expected of a Barcelona product. His technical ability is excellent, ball control elite, even in tight spaces, which is critical for playing in position. cool and composed under pressure, allowing to make simple yet effective plays that maintain the balance in midfield. Yeah, he looks. Yeah, he's very much rated by people. We'll see. But he can press as well. I'm watching clips of him pressing now, which is really good. And I'm seeing this guy actually press and win the ball with his strength. Oh my God, imagine that. Don't forget, I know he might be a little bit slow, but everyone said he was slow. Everyone said Rodri was slow. Plodri 2.0 will do for me. I'll take a Plodri 2.0. Everyone said he was slow then, and then eventually adapted. So, yeah. Cambiasso, I don't know what's going on with the latency there. Sorry, guys. There's not much I can do about it. The thing is, I can't really change the internet once it starts. Let me have a look. Once it starts dipping, there's not much I can do about it. Sorry, guys. But yeah, it looks like City are looking for someone, doesn't it? It looks like we are going to go aggressive on this. It's very obvious that this is a serious deal. I'm not going to stay live too much longer because I've got friends coming around, so I'm going to leave it there. I have to go live to do this video. Give me a like on the video. Let me know what you make of this potential signing. I'm very encouraged by this. It looks like we're serious. And to me, it could be the real deal, this guy. Guys, thanks for watching. This is the wild season. I love it. And also Real Madrid. Watch that video from earlier in a bit.